Hey everybody, it's Big E again. I'm bringing you this Tissot Bridgeport. This is my new and only pure dress watch, and it is dubbed the Baby Breguet. Comes in this lovely box, nice pillow, comes with the white cloth. Then on the back side comes with some Tissot History and books. Now, let's get right into the watch. I chose this watch as my only dress watch because I wanted something that invoked the pure dress watch essence. Okay? Now, I didn't want something with luminescence. I did desire something with anti-reflective crystal. I wanted a chronograph. I wanted an automatic. And what better watch to go with than a Tissot. Tissot was started in 1853. They have a long, rich history. You can look up on YouTube about their history. They're a very famous and prestigious brand, and they're in the Swatch group. Now, I nicknamed this watch the Baby Breguet. And the reason why I named it the Baby Breguet, because it has a lot of Breguet type styling. One of the things that it has the Breguet type styling is the hands. It has the open Breguet type hands, and of course they can do that because they're all under the same umbrella, which is Swatch. Now, I like this watch, and it has a nice flat sapphire crystal, and I'll put the dimensions of the watch up right over here. I'll put all the specs right over here, so on the left, so you guys can see that while I talk about it. And I like the dimensions of the watch. I like the styling of the watch. And for a dress watch, I really like the Roman numerals. I've always liked the Roman numerals. I like them on Chopard. I like them on Breguet. And this watch has a lot of Breguet type feel to it. And I'll put a Breguet up there right next to it, and you can see what I'm saying. Now, this watch has no lume. It has very lovely polished Breguet style hands. It just has stick hands for the sub dials, and then you have 3 sub dials. You have your running seconds right here. You have your hours here, which is 12, and then you have a 30-minute totalizer over here. Now, this watch is running a 7753 Valjoux, and you have a date window down at 6 o'clock with a white background, which I really think is nice. And on this dial, you have a sort of, instead of a gill shade pattern, you have like a brick type pattern, and I'll put a macro picture up of that. See how you can see the brick type pattern on there? And the numbers on here is, they look like they're applied. I guess they're applied. They're not metallic, but they are applied. And you have a couple different style of patterns on the dial, which make this really Breguet-like. It's really nice the way it is. And I like the two-tone aspect of it with the silver numbers and the black background. I really like that. Instead of going with white numbers, they went with a silver number, and that's pretty nice as far as it goes. Now, turning over to the side of the watch, you have a stepped bezel right here, and that's really nice. And you have vertical brushing, and it's nice to see vertical brushing instead of the side-to-side brushing, something different. This is the pusher, and 7753s have an external pusher to change the date. They're a little different mechanically than its cousin, the 7750 Valjoux. This is a 7753 Valjoux, and this carries 2 more joules, 27 joules instead of 25. Okay, now it has a push-pull signed crown with the Tissot T, and you have smooth pushers. You have 50 meters of water resistance, which is adequate for any dress watch, and you have sapphire crystals front and back. Now, getting back to the side of the watch, you can see this is a brush pattern, but then you have a clear line of delineation right here where it turns to a really high polish, and then on the inside where the 21 millimeter strap goes, you also have that mirror polishing, and you can see my finger in the mirror polishing. Now, you have these swept down lugs, which pull straight down so it can fit on a smaller wrist, and this is a pretty big watch. Now, you have to understand, most watches with 77 50s, 51s, 53s are usually a pretty thick watch. A pretty thick watch because that's a pretty thick movement. Now, going down to the buckle, you have a textured alligator type leather buckle with the alligator pattern on there, and then you have the black stitching, and you have the signed deployant clasp, which has 2 pushers for safety. Really nice deployant clasp that comes with it, and it's also signed with the Tissot T right there. And then you have a black suede bottom on there, and that's also marked with the Tissot. Now, these are an odd size lug, 21-inch lugs. I really don't like 21-inch lugs that much, but you know, it is what it is. One thing I like about this watch is the Valjoux wobble. I love the Valjoux wobble. Some people don't like it, but I love it. Look at that. Look at it go. And I can feel it wobbling. Now, this is a really nice, heavily decorated piece for a Tissot. You have your Genevan striping on your gold rotor, 27 jewels, Tissot 1853 signed, ball bearing rotor, and now you have a nice engine turning on that 7753. See that nice pattern? Look at that. It's really nice, and that's why I call this the baby Breguet, because it has all the essence of the Breguet, and it even has on the side of the case, you have this knurling, this snailing on the side of the case, which looks really good. And I'll put a macro picture up so you can see the snailing on there. That is beautiful, and I love this beautiful step case, kind of reminiscent of a Maurice Lacroix. And then you have the flared lugs. You see how the lugs come out and then they have this little rounded edge? So it's just not a simple lug. The lug has a taper on the inside, and then it's crimped up, and that's just not really easy to do. That's something that gives it a little extra special touch and feel of quality. And this watch is really pretty heavy. And let me get the scale out. I'll weigh it real quick. Okay, this watch is 3.7 grams. Let me see. Yeah, it's 3.7 grams. So it's a pretty nice watch, pretty heavy watch. It has a real feel of quality. I love the pattern of that dial. I love the font on the date wheel, and I'll get the chronograph going. It has a real nice push. That 7753 is smooth. That is smooth as butter. This watch can be serviced by any watchmaker. You don't have to send it back to Tissot to get it serviced. You don't have to send it back. And you hit the button, and then it goes back, resets. Nice snappy reset. It's really smooth. And I'll take a look at the crown. The crown has that same snelling on it. You can see that. I'll put a macro picture up of the crown. It has that same snelling on it. It's beautiful. And this watch comes in. I paid $600 for this on Jumbo Shop. They're having a sale. So I was waiting purposefully for a sale to come around, Black Friday sale, so I can get some money off. I got a couple $100 off. It's usually about $800, and it has a retail price of about $2,000. So I don't like shopping with ADs. I don't mind going with gray market. It's okay with me. I don't mind that. So this is the Tissot Bridgeport. They have many different colorways. I'll put a picture up of all the colorways for you guys if you're interested in this. I believe this is the most bang for the buck for a serious chronograph dress watch, because you get the history, you get a rock solid 7753 movement. It's nicely decorated. It has everything that you need. It'll slip under a dress cuff, and that's my dress watch. Stay tuned for my next video, which is going to be the state of the collection towards the end of this year. And God bless, and I'll talk to you guys later. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Tissot Baby Breguet Bridgeport. My name is Big E, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.